Welcome to 90.6 FM Sport. My name is Gabriel and this is your Sport Recap, where I give you a rundown of what happened in multiple sports over the weekend. Don't forget to watch until the end of the video to see the blooper of the week. South Africa's national cricket team faced England in the second and third games of the T20 series. And if you're a fan of the Proteas, you'll be disappointed to know that they lost both games to the world champions, with the second game being just as thrilling as the first. Quinton de Kock also made history by hitting the fastest half-century in T20 international cricket, but it wasn't enough to bring them over the line as England triumphed by just 2 runs, one more than South Africa's narrow win in the very first game. The third game was more decisive for England though. Their captain led them to a victory by 5 wickets with 5 balls to spare as he hit a blitz of sixes, which also allowed him to leapfrog Virat Kohli into 9th position T20 batting rankings. But it's not over for the Proteas just yet. South Africa will be back in action on Friday when they play Australia in Johannesburg in the first of 3 T20 internationals, which will be followed by 3 one-day internationals. And in case you missed it, Faf du Plessis has stepped down from his duties as Test and T20 captain. According to Cricket South Africa, he wants to cater for the next generation of leaders and feels that as South Africa is moving into a new direction, he thinks that this is the right thing for him to do. What a weekend of football we had in the Premier League and some big news regarding the current Premier League champions. But before we get into that, let's talk about the results of the matches over the weekend. Starting with Friday night. Despite a red card for Chowdhury of Leicester City, Wolves were unable to score a goal against Brendan Rodgers' side. Both Burnley and Liverpool left it for the final third of their games to score the winning goals against Southampton and Norwich City respectively. It's the first time in 14 Premier League matches that Liverpool failed to score before the 54th minute of the game. Bjorn Engels of Aston Villa made a grave error in the 94th minute, which allowed Son Heung-min of Tottenham Hotspur to score the winning goal for Jose Mourinho's side. And Arsenal smashed 4 past Newcastle United in the second half in a display more fitting of Mikel Arteta's style. The match of Game Week 26 saw Chelsea host Manchester United and the visitors beat the Blues 2-0, much to my delight and anyone else who is a fan of Manchester United. The top 4, or technically top 5 spot, is really heating up now, and it'll be interesting to see who qualifies for the UEFA Champions League next season. Manchester City still have a game against West Ham United on Wednesday the 19th, which also brings me into the big news I spoke of earlier. Manchester City, the current Premier League champions, have been banned from competing in all UEFA competition for 2 years. The ban happened because the club broke financial fair play rules, and if you're unfamiliar with FFP, it basically means that a club must bring in more revenue than the amount of money they spend. This has brought about so many questions that have yet to be answered. Will Pep Guardiola leave? Will City be able to hold on to some of their star players like Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva without them being able to play European club competition? Will next season see 3 English teams qualify for the UEFA Champions League instead of 4 if City finish in the top 4? So many questions, but only time will tell. And speaking of the UEFA Champions League, it returns tonight. Atletico Madrid take on current champions Liverpool, while Borussia Dortmund play against PSG. Tomorrow night sees Atlanta host Valencia, while Tottenham Hotspur take on RB Leipzig. The next round of matches happen next week, and if you want to hear more soccer talk on 90.6 FM, listen to 90.6 on Fridays from 7 to 10 with Sid. Super Rugby Round 3 saw some great matches, none more so than Lions versus Stormers, who scored a try beyond the 80-minute mark to beat the Lions by 33 to 30 points after their conversion. They, along with the Chiefs, are the only teams unbeaten so far as the Chiefs destroyed the Sunwolves 43-17. And despite the score being 17-all at halftime, the Hurricanes were too strong and swept the Sharks away, beating them 38-22. The Jaguars returned to winning ways by beating the Reds 43-27, with the Reds still struggling to claim victory. Of course, you can catch the breakdown with Ed and Martin every Monday from 6 to 8 on 90.6 FM stereo for more on rugby. And if you don't have access to a radio or can't catch our frequency, you can stream us live by going to our website linked below and clicking on the Listen Live banner. For what's happening in the vault very soon is Let's Gijima for Cancer, hosted by RWFL. This will be happening at Old Voltonian Sports Club, and the distances will be 5 and 10 kilometers. For more on that, you'll find a link below in the YouTube video. Before we finish up, check out our sports blooper of the week, something that I hope puts a smile on your face.
He's not going to want to see the replay of this, either of them for that matter.
And he hit it as well, on target. Warwick Galant.
For the recap on 90.6 FM Sport, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and follow all the 90.6 FM social media channels in order to be updated on the latest in sports. I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.